everyone, my name is Julia Tang and I'm a physical therapist. I'm here today with a full body strength workout that's going to take you just about 15 minutes here, so it should be nice and quick. So in this workout, we're going to go through a warm-up because it's always important to get your body moving and grooving before you start lifting weights. And then we have 3 exercises. Number 1 is going to be a squat, number 2 is going to be a row, and number 3 is going to be a bicep curl to overhead press. And we're going to do each exercise for 40 seconds on, 20 seconds rest, and we'll do 4 rounds of this. So I've got 3 sets of weights here. I've got a heavier set of weights for the squats, a medium set of weights for the rows, and a lighter set of weights for my bicep curl to overhead press. You choose what's right for you, and you can always adjust throughout the workout. I also have a box here. You can use a chair or a couch, just as a modification for the squats. So let's start off with a little warm-up, okay? And remember, you can always pause this workout throughout the workout if you need a little bit more break or a little bit more rest time between workouts. But we're just going to start off with the warm-up here. So the first thing is you're just going to pull your knee to your chest. So this is a knee to chest stretch, and you can either pull in front of your shin or you can pull behind your thigh if your knee doesn't bend that much. But we're just trying to get a little glute stretch here. Get that knee up toward your chest and work a little bit on your balance before we start this workout. So do a couple more knee pulls on each side. Get the body moving and grooving. Our next warm-up exercise is going to be a turtle herder. So you're going to hinge at the hips, stick one leg out in front of you, and then scoop towards your foot as if you're herding baby turtles into the ocean. Go baby turtles! Although I just found out that's super illegal, so don't actually do that in real life. But just for the purposes of this warm-up, you can herd your little baby turtles, get a nice little hamstring stretch, calf stretch, work on the hip hinge. We'll do one more each side here. We're going to move to our next warm-up exercise, which is going to be a big arm circle. So swing your arms up, out, and around, and then reverse the motion, open up your chest. And if you're like me and you can't stand still, you can also do a little butt kicker, get the front of your thigh, move in. Heart rate should be increasing just a little bit. Hopefully your body's feeling a little more warm. I know mine is. Our last warm-up exercise here is going to be a squat to overhead reach. So you're going to squat down just as far as you can, reach overhead. Here you can also use that chair, sit down, and then reach overhead, or you can just do regular squat, reach overhead. You can start with a smaller squat, and then as you warm up, get deeper into that range of motion. So try and keep your chest up here, reach overhead, pull your arms back down, sink back into that squat. And then whatever depth feels right for you, that's what we're going to do today. A couple more here, then we'll get into the workout. Okay, my blood is flowing, so I'll get my timer started here. We're going to start off with our first round of exercises, and starting off with squats. Okay, so starting off with squats, I'll show you first with just one weight. So I'm just going to hold either side of the weight, feet just about shoulder width apart, toes turned a little bit out if that's comfortable for you. You're going to sink down as far as you can, stand up. The modification is you can always sit on a chair, stand up, think about keeping your chest up, push the ground away, use those strong legs, sit straight down into the chair and stand up. And if you feel like you can progress, then you just tap the chair and stand up. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. Alrighty, we're done with the first exercise already. Our next exercise is going to be a bent over row. So I'm going to pick up those medium-sized weights. I'm going to get into a nice hip hinge position with this one. So straight back, as close to parallel to the ground as you can get. And from here, we're going to pull our elbows to the ceiling. Okay? So get into position. Elbows towards the ceiling. Pull the weights toward your belly button. Work in the back of the body here. So you want our back nice and straight. This is a really useful move for if you're a gardener, pulling some weeds, or if you've got a pet, picking up heavy pet food off the bottom shelf at the store to put into your grocery cart. But nice move to strengthen the back here. So push those hips back, back straight, and pull the weights towards your belly. Alrighty, We're done with the rows. Our third exercise here is going to be a bicep curl to overhead press. So I'm switching to my slightly lighter weights for this one. You can use whatever you've got around. Get a strong base of support on the ground. Knees slightly unlocked, a little bit soft. You keep elbows next to your side. Curl up. Turn your palms forward, press overhead, and then reverse. And if you find throughout this exercise you're like, wow, this is pretty heavy to get overhead, no problem. You can always just drop the weight. Or you can even just do one weight. You can also hold each end of the weight, curl, press overhead. And when you're pressing, the weight should be just a little bit in front of your face. You don't want to knock yourself in the chin with the weights. So move with a nice controlled pace here. Try not to swing the weight up at any time. Okay. Remember, you can always pause if you need a longer break. We're going to go back to those squats. And that weight felt pretty good for me, so I'm going to actually pick up 2 here. Because it was a little light before. I'm just going to swing those weights up onto my shoulders. And we'll get back into the squat here. Nice inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale lower. Exhale lift. Just imagine how strong you'll be the more you do this exercise. This really helps with getting up out of a chair, getting up off the toilet. Really just anytime you need some power in those legs, the squat is a great exercise to work on that. Another advanced option, you can go quick on the way up, so slow on the way down, and then exhale, quick on the way up. This is really good for tossing kids into the air. If you're like me, one of my friend's kids really loves uppies, so working on that power in your legs just to give those uppies. All right, we're going to rows. So keep that nice strong back position. And also, if 2 weights was too difficult, you can always hold 1 weight and then pull that 1 weight towards your stomach. This one is exhale to pull, inhale to lower. Exhale up, inhale down. And then the same thing, if that weight is feeling a little too light, you can grab your second weight. Nice and smooth and steady. You always have the explosive pull option. So you really gotta pull that weed out of the ground. Needs a little more oomph to it. So quick on the way up, control down. All right, our second round of rows done. We're going to our second round of bicep curl to overhead press. Here we go. Take a little shoulder roll, shimmy out the shoulders. Take a nice deep breath here. Get ready for it. And here we go. Elbows pinned to your side and then pressing overhead. Imagine you've just come home with a bag full of groceries and now you've got to put them all away. Some of them have to go in those upper cabinets. So you got to reach down, get those groceries, and then put them all the way up in that shelf. Or another common use for this type of motion is on the airplane. If you've got your little carry-on bag, you gotta lift it up and put it in that overhead bin. So for all you travelers out there, this is a very functional move. Works on that upper body strength. We're curling up and pressing overhead. Alrighty, we're halfway through. Can you believe it? It's going by so fast. So we're going back to those squats. Remember, you always have the option to sit down, stand up with your weight, or tap on the chair with the weight. But if you're feeling nice and strong, you can come with me, swing both weights up, and do them in free space. So squat down as far as you can control, and then press up. And so here, if you're looking down, you want your knees to track in the same direction as your feet. So you don't want your knees in or out, but they should be going in the same direction as your feet. And for me, my comfortable stance is toes pointing just a little bit out. So you choose whichever is the most comfortable stance for you. And think about sitting straight down. Sit down on that imaginary chair. And then get all the way back up again. All right. Here we go for our third round of rows. We got a lot of weeds to pull. Or if your calves are anything like mine, sometimes they're a little hard to get out of the carrier when you're at the vet. So sometimes we just have to make use of those pulling muscles. Hinge over. Pull the weights towards your belly button. It's also really useful for picking up heavy groceries off the bottom shelf, moving dirt around in your backyard, picking up stuff off the ground. Keep breathing. You can do that explosive lift up, control down, or you can just keep going smooth and steady. You choose your level today. As long as you're challenging yourself, that's what counts. Here we go. Okay, third round of bicep curl to overhead press. So we'll pick up those light weights again. Now everybody on the plane has realized you're the person to go to. You're gonna help them put their carry-on in the overhead bin. So that's what we train for. Here we go. So curl up, press overhead. It's fun to lift heavy weights. It's fun to feel strong and capable. And I hope that some of these examples can really show you how useful strength training is in everyday life, just for your everyday activities. So you're unloading the dishwasher, you gotta put some of those cups on the high shelf. That requires an overhead reach. If your overhead motion is a little restricted, you just lift as high as you can. Even if you're only getting halfway up like that, totally fine, as long as you're trying. Just do your best. Keep going here. Alrighty, third round done. We only have one more round left, so I want to challenge you. Pick up a heavier weight. Pick up those 2 weights, or do that advanced version, which is an explosive up portion, slow and controlled on the way down. So get those weights up. Sit down in your squat, and then explosively stand up. If you're not feeling ready for this today, totally fine. Maybe next time. And then again, if your depth is only about halfway, again, great. As long as you're challenging yourself, that's what we want. What doesn't challenge you won't change you. That's one of my favorite fitness quotes. You have to challenge yourself to make yourself stronger, move through life a little easier. Here we go, almost there. Keep breathing. Okay. My heart rate's up a little bit. You might even get a little bit of a cardio stimulus from this workout too. Okay, we're going for our last round of the bent over rows. We've just got one more row of weights to pull, and you'll be done for the day. So strong back, hips backwards, and then explosive. Pull up, smooth lower down, or you can always stay with that slow controlled version. Whatever feels right for you today. Let's keep a nice strong back. This is really important for helping your postural muscles too. Help you stand up a little taller, be a little straighter. Keep going, keep breathing. We're almost done with this workout. You've done a great job sticking with it so far. Okay, so that is it for the bent over rows. We have one last exercise before we're done with this workout, and that's a bicep curl to overhead press. So stand up nice and tall, knees a little soft, belly strong. So you gently pull your belly button towards your spine, core on, and press overhead. So curl the weights up to your shoulder. For anyone with a newborn baby that they're taking care of, they probably want to be close to you, and then babies love being lifted overhead, bounced up and down. It's a functional movement for that. Some pets like it too, and some pets tolerate it. So you do you. But curl those weights up, and then push overhead. You don't need anyone to help you lift that weight up into the overhead bin. You can do it by yourself. All right, that's it. So we've just completed a little strength training workout, hit most of the major muscle groups in your whole body. So thanks for working out with me. You can always stretch, cool down by yourself if you need to, but that was a great full body strength workout here. So thanks for joining me.